Alright, so let's dive into some SolidWorks practice. I'm doing the Certified SolidWorks Professional Practice Exam. The test question over here. I've already gone in and included all of my global variables just to get started on that. But you would manage equations, input those all in. I like to do that first, since they're all right here. And then what I'm going to do, I've got this sketch on the top plane, because I'm going to start with the base. Let's see here. Let's see if I can figure out, make sure I know where the origin is supposed to be. Origin arbitrary. So we're just going to make it right there. And this is going to equal A. Good. B. I'm just looking at this view here to get this top view. And then I'm going to extrude 25 millimeters. Also, something you definitely want to check before you get too far into it is you want to make sure that you're in the right unit systems. Okay, base, and I think the next thing I'm going to do is create this rib feature. I'm going to sketch on this, good line, and then I've got an arc here. So I'm just going to go 3-point arc. Maybe. That didn't go according to plan. There we go. And then it looks like what I can do is this is 80. This is 80. Let's see here. C. Good. Same thing over here. So you see I'm trying to use mouse gestures as much as possible. Here. Alright, it looks like the center of the circle from these center lines here is actually coinciding with this. And there we go. It's offset by 15, so I'm just going to use the offset entities here. I'm going to use the select chain checkbox. There we go. And that is the sketch I'm going to use for this rib. Let's see if I can get a sense for how tall it is. It looks like it's about 95 tall, based on this view right here. Go 95. I do want to merge the result. Okay, nice. We got that rib there. Next, let's take care of these cylinders. So, looks like I've got cylinder is the center of this cylinder is 95 up, centered on this rib, so I want to start with that rib. The diameter is X. Cool, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to extrude these back and then use an extrude cut to create E. So how long is it? Is D long? Other way. This one's to be global variables D. Awesome. And then this other side, it is Y instead of X. So I'm going to grab that. It's going to equal global variables Y. If you're super snazzy with the keyboard, you can use quotation Y. I'm a little slower at that, so I like to do it with the menu. And that's because I tend to keep my hand on the escape key. I find that helps me. Let me make sure I've got this right. 95. C. See, it's looking a little wrong already, so we gotta troubleshoot. Ah, you see what I did here? It's offset 10. So I need to go here, right? My sketch plane is this surface. I can go offset 10, and that brings it forward, just like this section view HH from that front surface. So we're going to do that for both of these. If I was modeling a real part, I'd probably name these features, but because this is the test, we want to be quicker. So now we want to create this, and this is going to be concentric, and this diameter is E. Go cool features, extrude cut. I'll say through all. There we go, got that. It's going to equal, so it's E again. Okay, so we've got a lot of our basic shape here. Next, I'm going to create this pocket. Well, because that's an offset there. So maybe what I want to do is create this corner feature with the hole. So let's go here, sketch. One trick, I like to use A to create a tangent arc. I want to make sure that this is horizontal and this is vertical. Good. Now, this length is 60. This length is 60. And is it going to give us a radius? 15. It is 35. 35 up. We already are 25. It's going to be 10. Great. And so now I've got the features I need to create this pocket, which is an offset. So I can go sketch, offset entities, 9. I'm just going to select all these edges around. Might have been able to do that with a face select, but this has worked. Great, and so I've got all these fillets. I can either create the fillets in the sketch or create them as a fillet feature. I think I'll do it as a feature, just because it's a radius 10, and I can throw all those fillets in here. Okay, how deep does it go? That's what we need to know. Oh, it's 5 from the bottom, so let's go extrude cut. Offset from surface, this surface. 5. Alright, now let's add our hole, which is this F, it's this hole wizard. So I'm going to go, how I like to do this, what I find to be the most robust way to do this is just create a really small hole where I need it to go. Just like that, and it can be, you know, just 1 millimeter, just something really small. And then I'll do a quick extrude cut of any depth, and now I have a spot. So when I go into hole wizard and I select over here, make sure I've got standard NZ-metric counterbore, and it's going to be a hex bolt counterbore. Hex bolt B18 2.3.5. Oh, look, there it is. And we want to go counterbore depth. Let's make sure I've got this counterbore position through all positions. Put that there. Make sure I've got it right. NZ B18 2.3.5 M. Size. Ooh, I missed it. It is M8. There we go. Fit close. And that's that. That's that. Okay, all we have left is chamfers and fillets. It looks like we've got these edge chamfers here. 4 by 2 by 35. So we're gonna go chamfer. these chamfers in. Good to go. Don't forget to save. Great. Now, fillets. Everything else is looking good, so let's toss these fillets on here. It's a 10-layer fillet. Perfect. We just grab all of our corners in one feature. Just like that. Let's see, are we missing any edges? Those are sharp edges. Looks pretty good to me. I think we've made the part. Looks pretty similar. I'm not seeing any standout difference, just double checking. Hasn't been that long. Alright, let's assign the material. It's alloy steel. We're gonna find that right here. Apply. Alloy steel. All those holes are almost always shown. Got these. Alright, let's measure the mass of the part. So we're going to evaluate mass properties. What do we got? We got a mass of 1509.1. Ooh, we're off somewhere. We're going to have to do some troubleshooting. This happens in the exam. It's important to get this first one right on the actual exam, because in the follow-up questions you're going to have to just edit that part and then check. So things I'm going to look for, chamfers. I'm going to double check my chamfers. What do I got? It's a 4 by 2 by 45. 4 by 2 by 45. Okay, so I got those chamfers. Measure. 15. Okay. Do I have my offset right? I do. It's 9. I wonder if my hole is a little bit off. Let's go edit feature. Okay. X bolt. ANSI B18 2.3.5. Hole type. It's ANSI metric M8. Fit close. End condition through all. Okay. Let's go measure. Counterroll. Ooh, this is too big. This is wrong. Show custom sizing. Okay. Here we go. This through hole diameter 15. Counterbore diameter 30. Counterbore depth 10. So there we go. Found the mistake. Sometimes you gotta look at things. I noticed the hole looked a little bigger. The things I checked were hole wizard features, make sure my chamfers are right, offsets are the right size, these rib features are the right width, and next was going to be my fillets. Just a few quick things to run through when you're troubleshooting. Let's see if it actually made a difference. 15.0, 2.7, 2.07. I'm still wrong. I'm still majorly wrong. This is too tall. This is really too tall. There we go. Let's get my smart dimension. This to the bottom. It's 95. And what I'm going to do is use a center line to place it. We're going to do this, and I want to fix that. We're going to fix this. This is going to go up. That's 95 from the bottom. We go 95 minus 25. There we go. Let's see where we landed. 207.34. Round that up. There we go. Now we're right on D. So hopefully through that, you saw that probably not going to get it perfect at the right time, and troubleshooting early is the way to go, and saw some good troubleshooting tips in here. So with that, I'll write down that 1 I got for D, and we'll move on. We'll move on to the next question. So this is why it's important to make sure, be really confident you have it right, because you're just going to update the parameters. So we're going to take these, all these conditions we just had before. I'm just going to go in my equations. A is going to be 225, B 10, C 176, D 137, E 39, X is the same equation, Y is the same equation, and this whole didn't change. Just double check that we have it all right. And you see how it's important to get your model, be confident in your model in the first question. So I'm going to hit OK, rebuild, save. And then what is the mass of the part? Mass properties. Looks like 16490.45. And before we move on, I like to just double check this again. 225, 210, 176, 137, 39, A over 3, B over 3 plus 10. And then this whole, none of this whole geometry changed from before. That all stayed the same. Okay. Alright. Then here we go. Question 3. Update the parameters of the initial part. So, it's kind of the same as before. We're just going to go into these equations. We're going to update to these new parameters. So this hopefully shows how important it is to set up your global variables and spend a little bit of extra time troubleshooting in the beginning, because it gives us a lot more confidence here and can save a lot more time. Let's double check. Whole wizard stayed the same, these equations stayed the same, 209, 218, 169, 125, 40. Okay, everything was good. Okay. I always like to hit the rebuild button. Check mass properties. Okay. Let's get this recorded. 151 0.46. Good. Alright. So now, questions 4 and 5 looks very similar. We could probably edit this same part. What I'm going to do is I'm going to save out a copy of this part. File, save as, just put on the desktop, practice exam for 5, save as, copy and open, save. We can close the original document, we know we have it saved to our desktop. Okay, so if we look back here, we notice that a lot of these features stayed the same, but we now have another offset over here, and then we've removed this whole feature and created a cutout here. So let's find, this is good, this is fine, cut extrude, we don't need this, so we're going to delete this, yes. And we're going to have some errors, that's fine. So we're going to go through and fix them later. We're going to delete this, we don't need it anymore. Okay, and this, edit sketch. And so here, if we look at this, it's offset all the way around. That's fine. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do a box select, delete all of these, yes. I'm going to highlight this, I'm going to offset entities. Now I want to go 9, I'm going to hit 9, I want to go the other direction, I want to bring it in. Okay. And then we're going to need to make this cut extrude 5 from the bottom. So that same extrude should work. Let's roll back up here so we can do some more edits. Then over here, it looks like we have an offset from this circle, offset from the edge. So let's sketch on this again. Offset entities, this here, reverse. Entities, and we'll grab these two edges, reverse them in. So you'll see this doesn't connect as smoothly, but what I can do is it looks like I have a tangent line from the circle over. So I can use my mouse gestures, just create a tangent line over here, trim these offsets. And so you can add your fillets either in as a feature or as a sketch. I mentioned that before. I want to briefly show sketch fillets. It's this feature here. It looks like we have radius 10. I can go into the sketch. I can create my fillets ahead of time. It's kind of the same thing. It's just in the sketch instead of a feature. I prefer using a feature rather than the sketch fillet. This just creates a tangent arc. I think the feature is easier to edit later, but this works just as well. So let's double check HH and MM section view. Okay, it's also 5 from the bottom, so I'm gonna go offset from surface, this bottom surface, 5. Great. And now we have this second pocket. So we have, looks like we have a few fillets to add in, but also we have this section here to create. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sketch on this front surface. I'm going to see if I can find where that diameter, oh, it's listed here, section KK. It's a diameter, it's an offset of 10. Matter surface, I'm going to draw a circle. Would have been great if I snagged that auto relation, but I didn't. That's okay. 10. From that outer surface, and then to create this cut, I'm also going to grab this outer edge here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to features, extrude cut, offset from the sketch plane. According to the drawing, the offset is going to be 30. We want it to go towards inwards the part, and the cut length is 30. And that should create our slot feature there. I think that looks pretty good. 30, 30. Oh, another good update that I would have almost missed right here is this chamfer. It's 4 by 2 by 30 degrees, so we'll have to fix that. This chamfer, instead of 30 here, if I'm not close, so it's a 30-degree chamfer there. And here's this fillet we had from before. This is our radius 10 fillet. I like to go in here. Sometimes this is useful because it helps you find where these missing edges were. If you're very deep in a model tree, sometimes it's useful to have those highlighted, but it doesn't always line up with what you want. Just go in here, clear all missing references if you need. So that looks like our fillets. 5 by radius 10, 4 by radius 10, 9, 9, 9, tangent lines, 80. This looks all the same. I'm going to hit save just to be sure. We're going to modify our equations here. A is 221. Ooh, that's too many 2's. It's too many 2's. Let's get back into here. Get carried away with the 2's. Alright. 211. 165. D is 121. 21. E changed to 37. And note the equation for y has changed. Plus 15. Good. Okay, that looks right. That looks right. Bam. Rebuild. Save. Okay, everything was good. Measure the mass of the part. The material stayed the same. Good, good, good. Mass. Alright. Alright, troubleshooting works. I found it. This is a problem. If you look at the part, that cut's not there. The mistake I made is right here in this. I need to edit this sketch. We need to keep this bottom part right here. So what I'm going to do is create two lines. I'm going to make it collinear with this edge. Same thing over here. Whoa! Happens sometimes. I don't know why SolidWorks. Get my selections right. Collinear. What I'm going to do is I'm going to trim in here. And that should give me this back. And if we look at this, oh, there it is. So beautiful. Alright. And there we go. Now we line up with 13206, which is B. Perfect. Sometimes you gotta do the whole rigmarole. You gotta find your mistakes. Alright, 5. It's the same thing. Update the part with the dimensions, manage equations. We've seen this before. We can type in different numbers. It's gonna be okay. E changed to 34. That stayed the same. Okay. And I always like to rebuild just to be sure. Last properties. So we're gonna write that down. So I've got 1, D, 2, 16, 490, 3, 15, 100, 4B, 5, 14, 207. It's the end of the test. Oh, let's check our answer key. Looks like we nailed it. D, B, 16, 490.45, 1500, 100.47, B, and I round that up. This mass right here, probably get that.
If you've made it this far, thanks for watching. We went through the CSWP practice exam. Hopefully you found something useful, maybe learned some tips and tricks. If you liked the video, please press the like button and subscribe.